Yeah, what's going on? It is a brand new career mode here. We are Bristol, and I asked ChatGPT for a bunch of things. You can pause and see what they are. It's sort of like formation, manager name, where the team's based, and as you can see, we have County Bristol. So that is
Without
the
further
process we're
delay, we are
going
pleased
for,
to introduce
and
your new
the
manager.
manager is O'Connor. He is a ex-player, so pretty iconic as always. And our goal is to win the league. I don't think so with the team that we've got. As you can see, it's okay for League Two, which is where we're starting off. So we'll have Bristol Rovers to go against. And this is how the team lined up. You can see from the youth system, two the main squad. There isn't much disparity in between, and I'm hoping that I can use the youth team to sort of build our way through. I don't really want to be spending too much just because I don't think it's realistic to. Um, we've got players like Broderick who I think are going to stay around for the most part and help us through 69 rated. Hopkins again on the right, and we have two strikers in Lennon and Stevens who are quite good, but the rest of the team is meh. I can say the same thing about Captain Morton too. But yeah, as you see, I promote Burrow straight away just so I can use someone off the bench. I like the look of Guerrero because he's got 9-4 top end potential, so if we can use him once he turns 16, that will be amazing. But for now, it's just about finding who I can. As you can see, I'm going through the free agents just to see if there's anyone that I can quickly pick up, just to make that team a little bit better and a little bit more competitive um, as we go into the start of the season, just because the, the, the depth in the bench is god awful. Besides the keeper and the left back, we haven't got too many players that we can go, we're in a pinch, I need you to come on and score us a goal, or I need you to come back and defend. So that was our main concern, and then getting up the new system sorted. So when I came through, it was just about bang, I'll give the club 5 million to start off with and invest that all into youth rather than using to go transfers, just because I needed that established already. And you can't change around things unfortunately. So I knew how much we needed to spend for the scouts. As you can see, we sent them there, and we got our scouting reports back for those players. Ajuku, who is 5'9" but 16, looked great. Zabari, backup centre and goalkeeper, is better than the goalkeeper we have. Elias, who can come straight back in a right back, and Hal Dawson, who would instantly become our best centre back if we did sign him. And I'm not gonna lie, our top target probably is Elias and Ajuku, just because outside those two strikers, there's no one, and it's just nice to have good right back and left back because as you go throughout the years, there's not too many that have a decent potential. So if I can just boost that now from the beginning, we're sorted. But we're going for Howard Dawson first, just because his wages are cheap, and he's happy to get 5 years on. So we disregarded release clause, and as you can see, we're fine with the wages, fine with the clauses. We're taking for a bit higher than his recommended wages were. So welcome to Bristol United, Hal Dawson. I think I did say Bristol City earlier, which is completely wrong, but yeah, Bristol United. And then next in we go for the 5'9" Ojukwu. And if I'm right, this one's a bit of a harder negotiation. If you don't know, I am post recording this. But he only wanted rotation again for 5 years. I tried to negotiate it down just because I don't think it's realistic that everyone wants to come here for 5 year contracts. New team, new to the Football League, and he completely just goes, nah, we're not having that. So we don't get a Juku, but we then go in for Elias. Elias is a right back from Finland, I believe, and he's going to come in straight away and pretty much be like the main staple in the team. I think so. So you got to build up from the back rather than building kind of from backwards. Well, at least that's what I like to think of it. So then Elias gets 4 years, important, and 1,100, which is less than how Dawson, is a couple of ratings below. And finally round it off when I did another set of scouting once we had a Juku turn us down. We went for Javon Malcolm, who is a little bit older and a little bit less rated, but he possesses more pace, and that's something that you can't really like. It's invaluable in League Two. So coming profit of 330, 330, 330,000. Yes, that is correct. Don't know why I doubted myself. So yeah, he's happy to have this sporadic player, which means that he can come off the bench, not too fussed about starting the game, which is happy with me. Can ask for anything more. He only wants 550k, but we told to spend again, just so that he doesn't have any bonuses. So that is a Jude, no, sorry, Jude. That is Malcolm sorted, and we have our backup striker. You can see we're sorting out the team now to add in our new additions. As you can see, Elias comes in for goal. He is high rated, but I think he's like 30, so it's better for him to come off the bench just because we're not going to use him for much longer. And we keep Pat Wilson on the bench just for the sake of some realism. You can see we turn down Roy Lennon's offer because he's crucial. We sold gold. That is why he was on the bench. So Elias does come in and takes that right back spot.
Cool. So we are going into our first game, I think, after we get these transfers sorted, just for a couple of players. Thought speed of the process, just so you can see everyone's going in and out. And yeah, we're against Tranmere, so this is how we look on the first game of the season. We're kicking off in the hooped shirts. I don't know why I tried to focus on the orange nameplate. But yeah, we're in the hooped blue shirts, and Broderick gets kicked off. Elias has his first touch in a Bristol shirt. And as you can see, we're on the attack with Seymour here. Seymour darts from the midfield, passes it off to Stevens. Stevens, is he going to get a shot off? He dances his way through, and he goes from left to right, right to left, and then he shoots a straight across goal. And that is the first goal in the Football League for Bristol. Stevens gets it, and that's a great camera angle. I don't know why that's a bug in FIFA, and don't know why they've not patched it yet, considering it's now January. And if you skip a goal, it will automatically go there. But as you can see, Tranmere on the attack, Bristol has it. Getting closed down by Seymour, gives it to McGowan. Again, Broderick closing down. We're running a quite high press here. It's only a one-man press, which is quite easy to break down, but we're lucky that Tranmere can't score. And we're lucky again as Seymour gave it away, and they played a nice over the top through ball who gets knocked down. It's kind of the same thing again. They have these weird looping shots, which I'm not complaining about because it makes it easy to save. And then that attempt was wayward to close the first half, I believe. Nope, we might have one more attack here. So we go down with Skinner, plays for the middle, go back out to the lane. Lucky Bobble gives it to Stevens, who plays the end of the 1-2. And can we get off a chance? We just run out of time as we make our way for down the pitch. I think that's going to be called for half time now. So we end 1-0 up, but not really dominating the game. As you can see from the highlights, we're hoping for a better second half, which I can no longer see because my PC is giving up on me. And it looks like we're on the attack now as we get it out wide. A nice 1-2 again. We see the overlap from the left back as we make our way up the pitch. We cross it in. No one gets their head on it. They look to clear it away. I still can't see. We get a shot off. And it goes for a corner. Now, from that corner, we get a header across from Morton. No, he doesn't. He does not get onto that. They can go and try and get rid of it. Which is a nice ball that they go and chest down. Patrick gets cut out. We are now going back on the counter attack from that corner. And it goes out to the right this time with Hopkins. Hopkins plays it into Lennon. Lennon gives it back, playing lovely 1-2s this game, which they can't seem to handle. He gets it again to Lennon, who swivels first time, bang. And that is 2-0. Gives us just a little bit of breathing room as Tranmere get things kicked off again. Okay, I don't think we've been great this game, but we've just managed to put in that enough pressure just to get through as we get the ball immediately from kickoff and Stevens can't make it three as Lennon had that darting run for the middle who just managed to absorb all the defenders, leaving Stevens on the way through. And we get the corner again as we've made a couple of changes. You see how Dolphins now on. Broderick gets it, passes it off to Seymour, who has a lovely attempt. That is blocked. And we keep the pressure on. Hopkins wondering if he can actually connect with a Bristol head, and he doesn't. So at three corners, we managed to make problems, but mainly off the knockdowns from the Tranmere. We're good on the second ball. As Haldolphin gets pushed out of position, leaving a wide space in the gap. He's managed to recover just because they're a little slow. And that sums up Tranmere's day at the moment. They just can't get anything going in the final third. And Lennon breaks, passes it off to Stevens. Stevens, who I think is on for a hat-trick, hits it just off the post. As Miles makes his debut. So Tranmere looking to hoof it long, hopefully to get on the first ball. No, we win it, which is something we couldn't do from a corner all day. Lane drifted inside. Lovely bit of skill to do the step over. The roulette goes past two and pass off to Stevens, who then connects with it at the end, giving us three and putting the game to bed in the 72nd minute. And as you can see, Lennon is going to make his way off for Malcolm, who has his first start. And Moss is going to come on for Skinner, which rounds out the substitutions as McKinnon comes on. Bad to say. We probably won't be saying it often because he doesn't play very often, so don't get used to the name. As Tranmere gets things going as they look for a consolation goal. They actually haven't been awful today. They definitely were better in the first half than they were the second, but they still are capable of doing things like this, which is getting the ball out wide and then putting pressure on us straight away. But they just can't capitalise on anything that comes their way. I see, as soon as it comes to our own third, we're on every single first ball. Not the second, which is surprising, but we managed to get the block there, and again we're off on the counter attack as Lane passes it inside to McKinnon, who has acres of space just to run into. No one around. He takes a pot shot. Not bad. Keeper tips it over. From the resultant corner, we go short to Malcolm, who should be in the box, but managed to do well, getting a step over, cutting inside, and having a curler, which goes out again for a corner. Keeper's made two great saves in the last 2 minutes. Again, we go short because it worked for us before, and we can't make anything of that one as Hopkins plays it straight to the keeper's hands. They again attack through this left hand side with Patrick into Kenneth to Smallwood. Make of that what you will. Throws it out wide. Little bit behind Jennings, so it's allowed people to get back as we can catch Wilkins. Again, breaking through Lane. Lane's actually had a real good game this first game, and he managed to get it inside to Stevens. Stevens plays it to McKinnon to Stevens again, who gives it to Malcolm. Malcolm, can you score? Yes, in a similar fashion to where Stevens got his first goal, going across goal, giving the keeper no chance at all. And I believe that is it. Is that it? That is it. So, first game ends 4-0 to Bristol United as they look to climb the table this year. Winning is the goal of the board, not my goal, but as you can see, we had a horrible August, and our only other league win came against Barrow. But we have simulated all the way to a game against our rivals, which happens in early September, well, mid-September, on the 20th, and as you can see, we're down in 12th. It's early doors, but there's only, I think it's goal difference at this point separating us, as we're 11th and 12th in the table. We're again in our blue and white hoops. As you can see, Bristol Rovers all in black. And so Bristol's starting well. They get the ball out wide, but they can't make anything of it because it goes straight out. Sorry for me being unprofessional and having a notification on in the recording booth. Seymour gets it out to Lane to Skinner looking to pass back to Lane, who manages to get there, drifting back outside. Seymour passes to Lennon. Lennon, can he do anything with it? Puts it straight at the keeper. Anywhere else would have been goal. That she had 90% of the goal to aim for, but couldn't get onto it. Thomas manages to not get it away for Rovers, as we look to keep the pressure on. Broderick passes to Lennon. Lennon again, seeing what he can do with it. He manages to take it out while keeping possession of the ball. No, he doesn't. So it's a little bit all over the place for the first 10 minutes of the game, as no one can really hold possession, but Lennon gets it again, gives it to Seymour to Broderick to Stevens can't get through, as we're just sitting in this constant bit of pressure. Rovers look to get away with Thomas. Thomas manages to get it through to a guy's name who cannot pronounce, as they play with it on the edge of the box looking for a shot. Can they get it? No, they still give it back to Thomas. Thomas eventually shoots and it ends up going off the post into the keeper and out for a corner. They play short from the corner, and from the corner they can't do anything with it as Lane looks to go away, clears the ball away cheaply. Negri dribble it back into the corner where they took the corner from. Playing it back into the middle. Conte gets the ball, not the real one. Anthony out wide, passes it back to Sparks, and they're just playing around with it, keeping possession, not really fashioning a chance, as they manage to wind their way through and shoot wide. So it's been a very back and forth first opening exchange. The first 20 minutes, no one's really had a foothold on the ball or on the game, but Elias manages to just run straight for the defence, and Lennon hits it hard and low, straight across the keeper, giving us the lead in the 26th minute of a very important fixture and the first derby that we'll ever play. May not be the last. Of course it won't be the last, because we'll have to play them at their place. But Lane gets it in the second half, and he gives it to Lennon. Lennon shoots near post and scores near post. There wasn't too much from the rest of the first half to show it, if I'm being completely honest. That opening 25 was pretty much the bulk of the first half. But as you see, we join us back in the 60th minute with Bristol's trying to get another chance. And they do through the guy's name who I can't pronounce still. Sotiriou. But an inspired substitution about 5 minutes after the goal goes in, making more like 10. As we made 3 changes, one of those being Rutherford, but Morton gets it, our captain, and he manages to fashion that chance out of the corner and sort of gets it underneath his feet, but manages to get enough purchase on it to make it go to the top left. He joins again now in the 80th minute as Broderick gives the ball to Miles. Miles to Malcolm. Malcolm back to Miles. Miles, can he do anything with it? Miles shoots. Miles scores. So that's a 1 goal in 2 matches. Miles hasn't played since the opening game. Maybe we should play him a bit more. But Broderick gets it in the 85th. Passes it to Miles. Miles, seeing 2 people to aim for, goes for Lennon on the right. Lennon shoots from quite a distance, quite an angle. Managed to get a corner. Rutherford again does a sort of shimmy, manages to work his way into the box, looking for a curler, and he does, top right. There just wasn't enough Rovers bodies just to close him down, and Teddy Rutherford makes it 5-1. If you're going off the games that you've seen, you would probably think that we should be running away with the league, and I don't know why the form doesn't continue. Maybe we need sort of back-to-back user games where it sort of builds a form going and then it does sort of push on. But us jumping in and out of the game seems to lead to this kick-start, like stop-and-start performances. But we go just before the January window for, I think, is the last game against Salford. And as you can see, Broderick's up to a 70. Al Dawson's now in the starting lineup, and Moss is going to start for a game. There are a few players that you may not have seen before that have gone into the bench just to bulk it out, but Malcolm also starts over Stevens this game, so we'll see how that works out. as we get into it, Salford City kicks off and they pass it out. Jonas in the third as they get the ball down the right, give it away, get it back straight away with Udo. And again, sort of like Bristol, they like to play and keep possession rather than sort of fashion the chance. They're playing a slow game, which doesn't work out for us. Broderick's able to get the pass. And he's brought down just before the halfway line by their attacker. He joins back as nothing happened from that free kick. But Elias is running down the right, passes Godwin in good time. Godwin to Lennon. Lennon manages to hit it hard and again similar to the goal they scored against Rovers, and it puts it just out of the keeper's range. Udo, with some good old-fashioned centre-forward work, manages to get that chance across, but couldn't do anything with us. And he joins us back in the second half, as again no chances after that. Lennon gets it straight off the kick-off, manages to turn and shoot near post, manages to put it straight into the top corner, as top bins as he gets, as Lennon extends the lead to 2. And that is one quick way to start second half. Manager's happy as well, all involved. But Ashley has it for them, looking to respond in the 56th minute as Garbutt is out wide. Ex-Everton man, if I'm correct. Pass it to Barini, Fabio Barini that is, so it's not a slouch of a team. Gets it to Udo, Udo out to Barini again, and this long game is probably what's killed him in the long run, but it looks like they're actually going to manage to fashion nothing. As, again, a very boring finish to the game, but a few new faces that you will see coming up is Holloway, who managed to come through our youth system. 17 years old, I believe, press proven play style, already 66 rated, so you'll see a lot more of him as Seymour makes it to the bench. Davies another one, who again is better on paper than Seymour, but probably going to have to loan him out just because it's better for the potential if they're out and playing games rather than not. Goodwin, who you saw against Salford, that is, he came in and he again is going to be back up to Hopkins. We may send him out on loan. As you can see, McEwen has learnt to play left mid, but that is it for today, and we will see you in the next one. Yeah, it's going to be a little more live com than this is. This is just because there was so much time between recordings. I recorded it before the Christmas break and didn't get the voiceover until after, so the next one will be a mix of both live and post-com, and hopefully you enjoyed the episode. Leave a like if you do and a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.